Oyster mushrooms are native to Europe, North America, and Asia and have been growing wild since ancient times. They were first recorded and classified in 1775 by Dutch naturalists and were later reclassified in 1871 by German mycologists to the classification we are currently familiar with. It was first cultivated in Germany as a subsistence measure during World War I and is now grown commercially around the world for food. Oyster mushrooms can also be used industrially for microremediation purposes. The oyster mushroom is one of the more commonly sought wild mushrooms, though it can also be cultivated on straw and other media. Oyster mushrooms are medium to large in size with caps averaging 5 to 25 centimeters in diameter and a very short or non-existent stem. The caps are broad and fan-like, ranging in color from dark gray, brown, tan, pink to yellow, and have curled edges that become wavy and lobed with maturity. White gills extend from beneath the cap, and the flesh is white, meaty, and firm. Oyster mushrooms have a slightly chewy texture and are soft with a bittersweet aroma reminiscent of anise. When cooked, they have a mild and nutty seafood-like flavor. Oyster mushrooms grow on and near trees in subtropical and temperate forests of the world. As wood decomposers, they often grow on logs and dead standing trees. They tend to prefer deciduous trees, especially oak and beech. Opy leafy forests make them happy and they tend to grow in the shade. There are plenty of different subtypes of oyster mushrooms suitable for growing and eating. Just to name a few, the blue oyster mushroom, common throughout the northern hemisphere, this species is one of the fastest colonizing oysters. Pearl oyster mushroom, also known as the common, gray, or winter oyster mushroom. This is the type that you'll find at your local supermarket. The golden oyster mushroom, also known as yellow oyster mushroom. The phoenix oyster mushroom, otherwise known as the summer or Italian oyster mushroom. The pink oyster mushroom, this is the fastest growing variety. And the king oyster mushroom. Oyster mushrooms are one of the only few carnivorous mushrooms, feeding on bacteria and nematodes, which are small roundworms, to obtain nitrogen for growth. They also grow rapidly on decaying wood, contributing to a faster rate of decomposition, which helps add additional minerals back into the ecosystem. With this ability, oyster mushrooms are being studied as an alternative way to clean toxins from the environment. While further research needs to be completed before assessments can be made, scientists are hopeful these mushrooms can offer a safe and effective way to remove unwanted toxins from designated areas on a small scale. Like all mushrooms, oyster mushrooms act almost like sponges, soaking up any water they come in contact with. Don't leave them sitting in water, even for the sake of cleaning them. Cultivated oyster mushrooms usually don't need much cleaning. Simply wipe off any of the bits here and there with a dry paper towel. Clean mushrooms can be sautéed, stir-fried, braised, roasted, fried, or grilled. Use the mushrooms whole, sliced, or simply torn into appropriate sized pieces. Oyster mushrooms are loaded with fiber, vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients. They're also low in carbohydrates, provide antioxidants, promote heart health, regulate blood sugar levels, support your immune system, and possess anti-tumor properties, gut health benefits, and anti-inflammatory effects.